Hi friends, today we're here at Newfields, Indianapolis Museum of Art to check out their member previews day for the new exhibit in the Loom, Dali Alive. And if you haven't been to Newfields before, you might be asking yourself, what is the Loom? Well, in short, it's a state-of-the-art projection show. But in reality, it's actually a multi-sensory experience where you'll be fully immersed in rooms with changing sounds, large images, and contrasting lighting that really brings the art to life. Now, we do have a couple of caveats before going in. One, because of the design of the Loom, some guests who have trouble being exposed to certain light patterns, noises, or flashing lights may need to be cautious if they visit, or even avoid it altogether. If that's you, then proceed with caution as you watch this video, as we wouldn't want anyone to experience a health trigger when they're watching. Two, we haven't seen this exhibition yet, but Dali was a very eccentric artist, and his art was known for having some pretty mature themes. So while we will do our best to edit this video appropriately, we don't know what's going to be featured when we're inside the Loom, so this video may not be suitable for younger aged viewers or for those who are easily offended, so just keep that in mind.
Speaking of Dali, do you know what his favorite breakfast food was?
I don't. What is it?
A bowl of cereal.
Ha ha. So the Loom is a special exhibit here at Newfields, and unfortunately it's not included with your general admission ticket. However, if you purchase a ticket to the Loom, you do get full access to Newfields campus, which includes the museum, and it's not a huge upcharge. A general admission ticket for the museum is typically around $20, and the Loom tickets are around $29, with discounts for members, seniors ages 55 and over, and youth ages 6 to 17. Children 5 and under are free. So Matt, you're more of, I would say, an art connoisseur than I am for sure.
Sounds delicious.
How would you describe Dali's work just in 2 words?
Surreal, dreamlike, maybe even a little trippy.
It's more than 2 words, but I'll take it.
But on a serious note, Salvador Dali was part of an art movement called Surrealism, which blended the worlds of dream and reality. So many surrealists saw art as a way to explore their own subconscious, or their unconscious minds. One theme in Dali's art is time. As previously mentioned, one of his most famous works of art is the persistence of memory, filled with many different clock imagery, those melted clocks that you're often associating with him. Other pieces also include a lot of other clock imagery and time, so it was a very big theme for Dali.
Okay, you ready to go check out the Loom?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, let's enter the Loom. Now this is set up to have a variety of rooms where you can just find a spot, sit on. They have a few benches you could sit on or just sit on the floor, and you'll have projections all around you, so you can just stay as long as you want and take it all in. You can move around. So while the bulk of the exhibit in here will feature Dali, they also feature little segments about 2 to 5 minutes long of other artists as well. And this is one of those that if you focus on it too long, it can make you a little dizzy. Hey, it's done. Here's what it looks like with no projections. Now there's my sister-in-law Tina. She was getting some photos here in the egg. I guess this is an egg. They have a little kind of cubby area over here that plays some videos behind, and you can get some selfies here with this art piece. Okay, now the Dali show is starting. We've got clocks floating on the floor.
Melting clocks.
Okay, confession time. I'll be the first to admit that I don't know a lot about art, so when I heard we're going to the Dali exhibit, I honestly wasn't sure who that was. But then Matt told me he was the artist known for those melting clocks, and I'm like, okay, I've seen those, I know who he is. So then I started researching him for this video, and well, let's just say there's definitely some things that were a bit different than the art I'm typically drawn to, and we'll just leave it at that. I do love his mustache though. It was quite unusual and certainly had its own personality. So I read that 27 years after his death, they exhumed his body and his mustache was still intact, pointing upwards at 1010. I don't know if that's true, but I thought it was funny. I also saw that there's a book out there titled Dali's Mustache. Apparently it's a photographic interview type of book, and at the end, the photographer said to Dali, "I have a feeling to discover your secret. Could it be that you're crazy?" And Dali answers, "I'm certainly saner than the person that bought this book." That just made me laugh. So I guess that's a sign you've made it when you have a book published about your mustache. And I'm not gonna lie, I would actually love to see a copy of that book and secretly hoping they have it in the gift shop. What do you think of the exhibit so far?
It's pretty surreal.
I see what you did there.
I know what a lot of people tend not to pay attention to is the audio component. A lot of the music and the sounds that are going throughout the exhibit are worth paying attention to because it really brings everything together.
Yeah. It's definitely a full sensory experience for sure.
This one by far is the most overloaded senses. The other ones have been a little bit more flowy. This is definitely more dreamlike, and I can see people being a little nauseous if they're not used to it.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever get the sense that you're being watched? What do you think so far?
I'm very impressioned with this.
Impressioned? It's surrealism.
Well, it's surreal.
It's a surreal impression. That's fair. Now once you leave the main room, there's a lot of viewing spaces in here, but once you leave the main room, there's a hallway here with a little cafe shop in the middle. There's some tables where you can get a couple of snacks or some beverages and sit down for a moment. Now this is the little pop-up food stand here, the El Marcato Surreal. They've set this up to look like a little Spanish bistro. Let's go check out to see what they have. They have mixed olives, marinated manchego. They have a chorizo bean salad, Spanish-style charcuterie, empanadas, and a citrus olive oil cake. There's also a bar in here that you can get a few cocktails. Featured some cocktails that keeps in the Spanish theme as well, like the Lume tonic. You can get an old-fashioned, Canvas Nova. So it's really cool that they have the food and beverages that match the theme of the exhibit. And to the left of the bar area, they also have another photo station here that has the melting clocks in the background with his traditional lip couch. So as you leave the Loom exhibit, there'll be another hallway here where you can learn a little bit more about some of his famous portraits, the years they were created, a little bit behind the scenes about it. And there's 3 different bays here that you can stop and take a look at some of his famous pieces. And to the left here is the Let's Get Surreal activity place. So we'll see what kind of activities they have in here to do. There's one, Dream It, Draw It, AI It. And you might have to be patient doing some of these activities since they're a little bit limited and a lot of people are in line for them. But we're gonna hop in one of these lines and wait our turn. Looks like they have 3 stations here. Okay.
You get to choose. Here's the colors, subjects. They don't have a dog.
Go black and white, reds, greens. What are we looking at here?
Greens. Green.
So you're gonna choose from each list. You're gonna select a color. We've selected green.
So let's do.
They have a violin, a cat, a shoe, a car, a ball, a horse, or a butterfly.
Do a
Horse.
horse. I'll do a butterfly.
And then Mom give you the description.
Spinning planets. It flows like a flower. No, not a horse.
Well, that's where it gets trippy, Mom. explodes into a flower.
Okay, we have a green horse exploding into a flower, and then there's an area you can draw it to that you can make a sketch to help AI make your picture if you want it. Or you just hit create the image. They're working on it. Okay, and we added it to the gallery. There's our green horse on the wall.
Oh, Ava, there's your picture. Do you want a picture in front of you? Look at mine.
Oh, you can email the image to yourself. Here you can also journey into Dali's imagination and enter 3D versions of 3 of his paintings. Okay, and this selfie station is the disintegration of the persistence of memory. So these are his melting clocks. This is the style that I was most familiar with when Matt told me kind of who he was and what his style was. Matt's going to demonstrate for us. He's going to put himself into the art.
So there are little hanging pieces throughout here. 3D Matt.
Hello, 3D Matt. Strike a pose as a melting clock. I don't know if that's melting. This is All Eyes on You. This was Dali's set design for the Spanish Lady and the Roman Cavalier, which included a huge eye that dancers interacted with. So they've recreated it here for you to pose with. Do you want to show us your recreating pose with the eye, Matt? That's beautiful. You're hired. So they also have on display here 5 large watercolors that were used as backdrop designs for the opera The Spanish Lady and the Roman Cavalier. And these belong to the opera's producer and leading man Lorenzo Avery and his wife Haley. So the couple lived in New York but chose Haley's home state of Indiana as the destination of 4 of the watercolors, which they donated to the IMA in the 1970s. So this is part of IMA's permanent art collection.
So this painting is the musicians. It's actually a different type of work. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Picasso, which they would have been contemporaries at that time, or at least close enough to be influenced. It's very interesting. See the Spanish flag. Dig it.
And as you come to the end of the exhibit here, there's a little trippy selfie station. It looks like you're warping out of the time hole there or something. Don't fall in, Matt. No! What's that? Oh. This is a hidden room. Oh no. Okay, well, that's gonna live in my nightmares forever. That's creepy. And then at the end of the exhibit, they have a little gift shop that you can look through. I'm gonna step in here and see if I can find that book about the mustache. But let's see what they have. They have some plates and cups in here with the melting clock on them. Ooh, a color changing mug. That's cool. They also have a few puzzles that you can select from, tarot cards. Here's the books. Okay, so we have, these look like kids' books. Just Being Dali. Dali and the Surrealists. Here they have a coloring book. Let's see what's in here. That's kind of cool. You can draw your own pictures in here. You can color and fill in the blanks into some of his paintings. Kind of neat. A few more books over here about Dali, why surrealism matters, some of his paintings. I'm still not seeing the mustache book yet. Ooh, you can get your own desk clock. There's the melting clock. There's a picture of it out of the box. You have an ornament that hangs. from the stand. Okay. Oh, here you can get the lobster telephone on a necklace or as an earring set, one lobster and one telephone. That's kind of cute. They have the melting clock as well, the persistence of memory it's called. They also have a variety of t-shirts and hats. I really like that t-shirt. That's cool. It's a bit of a bummer I didn't see the mustache book, but there is still the gift shop downstairs. They could have it down there, so we'll go check it out. Okay, and as a bonus, we're going to be making Dali tiles. This was an add-on feature to the ticket where they give you a little ceramic tile, and they have some acrylic markers here with a variety of colors at each of the tables, and you can design and decorate your own tile. So we'll see what they look like when we're done.
We can see where we get my artistic talent.
Oh, that's
Birds.
curves.
Birds.
Oh, birds. Birds by Dave. Okay, here's our finished tiles. We'll let all of you decide who did which one. But I think we nailed the, what would you call this, bizarre? Surreal style. We're definitely bound to be the next famous artist.
That's right.
Absolutely. Okay, well that was a unique experience. Matt, what was your thoughts?
No, I thought it was very interesting. It took about 60 minutes, give or take, to get through everything. Cafe in the middle. Don't sleep on that. They had some really good drinks in there.
Yes, they did. Okay.
So this exhibit is here for a limited time, so don't dilly-dally if you don't want to miss it.
Okay, well that's a wrap for us here at the Loom. What did you think of Salvador Dali and his art? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, like and subscribe to this video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.